Hi, thanks for tuning in today. Hey, just when you thought you heard everything, I'm here to tell you you ought to be getting your pet's teeth cleaned twice a year. Now, I can hear you out there moaning and groaning, saying you don't even go to the dentist yourself twice a year. But I'm going to tell you why dental health is important for your pet. First of all, imagine what your teeth would look like if you never ever brushed them your entire life. That's pretty much the state of most pet cat and dog's teeth. In fact, 9 out of 10 dogs over the age of 6 have dental disease. To tell if your pet has dental disease, take a look inside of its mouth. If its teeth have this accumulation on it, like this brown buildup, and its gums are red and inflamed, your pet has dental disease. The first stage is inflamed gums, bad breath, this buildup of food and bacteria on the teeth, which is called plaque, and then when this plaque mineralizes, that's called tartar. Now, the most mild result of all this is bad breath, and then it moves into a bacterial infection that is very painful for the pet. You may find your pet losing interest in games, doesn't want to play fetch, for instance, maybe doesn't want to eat very much, or your pet may become aggressive because it just doesn't feel good. These gum infections and root infections sometimes also turn into sinus infections, and that's very painful. If any of you have ever had a sinus infection, you know what that's like. Now, the worst consequence of bad dental health for pets is when the gums deteriorate and the infection gets into the bloodstream through these torn, unhealthy gums. And this bacteria is going through the bloodstream, and it accumulates in the valves of the heart, and then your pet has heart disease. And so to prevent all of this, all you need to do is have your pet's teeth cleaned professionally at your veterinarian's, and then get into a routine teeth cleaning at home. Now, one of the cosmetic reasons for brushing your pet's teeth, and the reason I began brushing my dog Jupiter's teeth, is that if the tooth becomes infected, it will eventually fall out. And if the dog's mandibular canine teeth fall out, there's nothing to hold the tongue in its mouth. Now, I don't know about your dog, but my little dog Jupiter here is quite obnoxious enough without her tongue lolling out of her mouth all the time. So I brush her teeth to prevent that from happening. And now Jupiter, being the unusual, idiosyncratic dog that she is, maybe if you've read my column, you've read about her before, but because she is so eccentric, guess what? She loves to have her teeth brushed. She just loves it. So I'm going to use her as this perfect little poodle model and show you how to brush your dog's teeth and how to get them to enjoy it.
Okay, now we're going to brush Jupiter's teeth. And this is where I normally brush her teeth, so I brought her here so she'd be comfortable. And I got her toothbrush and toothpaste at the vet clinic, and that's where you need to buy this stuff, at the vet clinic or at a pet supply store. Do not use human toothpaste or baking soda or anything else you may have read about on your pet's teeth. You have to use a specific veterinary dental paste for your pet's teeth. Now, this toothbrush came with the toothpaste. It's kind of hilarious because it's as big as my dog, but this little end turns out to be just the right shape for brushing her teeth. And she's very anxious to get started because she just loves this toothpaste and she loves to get her teeth brushed. So I just put a little bit of toothpaste on the end of it. And you don't have to worry about getting in between your pet's teeth like you do with your own flossing and stuff like that, or getting behind your pet's teeth. It's just the tartar and plaque that accumulates on the front of their teeth that you have to worry about. So what you do is hold their head and you move their gums aside, and you just brush up and down up into the gum line on your pet's teeth, and then let them lick and swallow for a while. And you get your little front teeth there. Look at that. Okay. And, okay, put your finger between their teeth to open up wide to get back into the back teeth. And you just brush like that, and you see she tolerates that very well. And then we're going to do the other side. Lift her lip up, and we just brush, 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 brush. See those pearly whites? Well, if it starts to be annoying to your pets, stop and let them regroup. You might want to add a little bit more toothpaste there, and continue. Make sure you get all the surfaces of their teeth. And you don't have to get between the teeth, because animals don't get cavities the way people do, except they are starting to see more cavities nowadays because a lot of these semi-moist foods, I don't want to mention a brand name, but you know, the squishy kind, they're processed with sugar, and this sugar is causing cavities in dogs and cats. But for the most part, if your pet just eats dry food and canned food, then they won't be having any cavities, and you just have to keep the plaque from forming on the outside of their teeth. So once again, open their mouth, get down into the back, and on the outside surface, do both sides of top and bottom in their front teeth. And let's just do one more thing here. Now, if you're wondering if you have puppies and kittens, sorry, Judy, open up there. I'm trying to get my hand out of the camera way. But if you have puppies and kittens, get them used to having their teeth brushed every day right now, because everything's new to them and they'll accept that as just part of life. If you have an older animal who's never had its teeth brushed, what you do is you start getting them used to having their mouth handled by, when you're giving them affection, talking to them, play around their mouth so they don't think that's so strange that you're touching their mouth area. And as I say, if it ever starts to get annoying to them, stop. You don't want this to be annoying. You can also, after a while, start to, if they tolerate that pretty well, then start just massaging their gums like that. Might feel good to them, unless they have an itch like Jupiter. But just start massaging their gums a little bit. And then a little bit later, you might want to put a little gauze around your finger and put a little bit of this veterinary toothpaste on the gauze, and start rubbing their teeth with the gauze. That should be fine for a while. And then you get yourself a toothbrush like this, or even a child's toothbrush, a very soft toothbrush. I like this because of the way it's shaped. And start brushing their teeth. And you really should try to do it about 3 times a week. Shoot for that. You should shoot for every day. You probably end up with doing it 3 times a week. And but you shouldn't do it any less frequently than that. It's not going to be much good, and you're going to be spending, I think, to have your pet's teeth cleaned at the vet clinic costs around $50 or $60. So this is a good way to save yourself $100 a year by brushing your pet's teeth 3 times a week. Now, you might think that you don't want to subject your pet, if you have an adult pet who's never had its teeth brushed and now you're concerned, you don't want to subject them to the anesthesia that is necessary to have a professional teeth cleaning done for your pet. But there is one vet clinic in town that has a anesthesia that is very easy on the pet. It's called Forain, and it's a gas. And as soon as the gas is turned off, the pet awakens from the anesthesia. And I've seen it used on 2 different pets. Jupiter was one, and a friend of mine's dog was another. And as soon as the gas was turned off, within 2 to 5 seconds, the pets awakened, and they were just sort of like, well, what's coming next? They were totally fine. They weren't knocked out for 24 hours like a lot of animals are after anesthesia. So call around and find out who has the Forain, and use that on your pet. Now, you might think, well, that's easy to do. Maybe my dog would accept that, like Jupy here, but you wonder if your cat will let you brush its teeth. And I'm here to tell you that it's just as easy to brush your cat's teeth as it is to brush your dog's teeth. And I'm going to prove it by brushing my cat's teeth, my cat Scraps, although I can't find her. She was just here a minute ago, but as soon as she heard me mention something about teeth brushing or something, she split. So I have to go find her, but I think I know where she is. And I'm going to show you that it's a piece of cake to brush a cat's teeth. So stay tuned. Well, now I'm gonna go try to find Scraps. I don't know if she was around, and all of a sudden she heard me mention something about brushing her teeth, and I can't find her, but follow me, I think you can find her. I think I know where she is. Oh, gotta move Jupiter's gate. Okay, down this way. Watch your step, everyone. Well, that's Radar you hear, my other dog out in the backyard. Well, there's Luna. Hi, honey. Hi, how are you doing? Oh, there's Scraps. There's Scrappy Moonbeams. Yeah. Hi, honey. What you doing down here in my office? Young Slim Scraps here is, well, she's going to be, I've lost track. She's either 16 this September or 17 this September. I'm thinking it might be that she's going to be 17 years old this September, and she weighs 17 pounds. Well, I think that's pretty neat. A pound for every year. Every year I take her to the vets and I get a lecture about her weight, but I figure, hey, she's 17. You know, I don't worry about her weight anymore. You should with younger animals, but oh, Scrappy Moons, this is where I found you. Well, this is my office. Before we start brushing our teeth, why don't we have a look around? Behind you here is kind of like my wall of fame of animals that I've taken care of. I just want to pan up and down and all around there. These are just some of the animals I've met in my pet sitting career. And down here are my other little pets, Porky and Ruffles. And Porky's, she's kind of mean, and Ruffles is kind of nice, but they're being shy right now, so what I do is I play a little trick on them, and I just take their house away. There's Porky. She's not so tough now. But they're sweet girls. I like them a lot. I'll introduce you more to them later. I mean, at a later show. Okay, come out, get in your own house. And, then, so this is, where I found Scraps hanging out. This is their cat tree. Oh, there's some more fish over there in the corner. But anyway, Scraps, guess what, honey? Your favorite thing. We're going to brush your teeth, and we're going to show everybody how easy it is to brush a cat's teeth. It's no problem, is it? No, darling. Okay, so here's Scraps, and you see all you have to do is kind of get your cat situated, and then you get the toothbrush, and it's really no trouble at all. You just open their mouth, and you kind of get the toothbrush in there, and you start brushing around, just like you did with the dog. Get on the outside of the teeth, and so you pick it up, and you open up their mouth, and you try not to get hurt, and you get it in there, and okay, Scraps, almost got it there. Wait, hey, okay, what? So you stick it in there, and maybe you better hold her paws so she doesn't scratch it, or clip the claws first, and so then you don't have a hand to get the teeth, the mouth open, so you're just gonna have to do your best. Well, that didn't kind of turn out quite the way I thought, but I do know a woman who does know how to do this. I've seen her do it with her cat, so let's go to her house and see how she does it. We'll learn how to brush a cat's teeth at my friend Kathy's house. Alright, now here we are at my friend Kathy's. I told you about this. She brushes her cat's teeth every night. And it didn't go too well with me and my cat Scraps, but I know it can be done. And Kathy's a great example that it can be done. And her cat Sia, who's wandering about and may jump into somebody's lap at some point because she saw the toothbrush and toothpaste come out. So she likes it too, just like Jupiter did. But first I wanted to talk to Kathy about how did you get Sia to accept it, and what made you start brushing her teeth? When was it? What in the world possessed you to brush your cat's teeth? How old was she when you first started doing it?
She was about 7 years old.
Really? So
Yeah.
she'd never had her teeth brushed?
Never had her teeth cleaned or brushed. And in the fall of '85, I took her to the vet for her annual shots.
Mm-hmm.
And the vet mentioned that she needed her teeth cleaned.
Mm-hmm. So was that a surprise to you? Did you have any idea that she did? Or?
I hadn't really thought about it, no. And so we had her teeth cleaned then, and I figured, once every 7 years, that was no big deal to have her teeth cleaned every 7 years. But then,
Got a little veterinary record here. Look at
Her
this.
health
Her real name is Aracia. We call her Sia, though. Okay, so what does this say?
and that was the fall of '85 she first had her teeth cleaned. And in June of '86, I had to take her back to the vet because her gums were infected. And it took almost all that summer to get her gums healthy again.
So when you first took her to the vet and she said she needed her teeth cleaned, you had the vet clean them. Well, this is Daisy. This is Daisy who lives here too. But anyway, you had her teeth. The vet cleaned her teeth.
It looks like she'd like her teeth brushed too.
Okay.
The vet cleaned her teeth and
then you-
recommended that I should probably brush them.
And did you?
I tried.
You tried.
Sia didn't like it very well. I think she kind of reacted sort of like Scraps did.
Yeah.
And I figured that it was so traumatic for her, I was afraid she'd have a heart attack. I was afraid I was doing more harm than good. But then that next spring when her gums got infected, and they told me that could be hard on her heart or something, a systemic infection. And it took all summer to get them to clear up. Then I thought, boy, this is, I better try it
Well,
again.
did
get
you
serious
notice
about it.
that her gums were infected, or you took her back for another checkup and they told you her gums were infected?
I was still occasionally trying to brush her teeth, and I noticed that they were all red and puffy, and I think they even had kind of like white streaks or spots or something. It's been quite a while,
Yeah.
but
Let me
they
stop you
didn't
for a
look
minute and tell the audience that this wolf whistle that you hear in the back is not the crew. There are also, we have crew people here, but those are cockatiels. Now, of course, he has shut up since I mentioned it. Oh, there he goes. But this is Chico. And, you saw him in the opening standard, the footage that runs before the show. You see a couple birds on my head. Well, one of those is Chico. And he's a real hammy once in the act, so you just have to ignore him as we talk. So anyway. Okay, so you had noticed it, and then you took her in. Well, why did you take her in?
the gums looked infected.
Okay.
The gums looked infected. I
So
took her in,
Yeah.
and my little record says that she was on antibiotics all the month of June and July.
Oh, geez, okay.
And then finally in August, we had her teeth cleaned again. So we didn't even make it a year, not the 7 years I expected.
Yeah.
And she was on antibiotics for longer. And the vet instructed me to brush her teeth at least 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Then, that was in August of '86. Well, come February of '87, she had to have her teeth cleaned again.
Oh, geez.
And at that time, the vet did gum surgery to repair her top right gums. They had
Wow.
receded away from the tooth so bad. You know how a molar kind of has 2 roots that almost
Right.
make a U?
Uh-huh.
Well, the gum had receded up so far that there was a hole in there. You could stick a probe or like
Oh,
a
my
toothpick
gosh.
through
Huh.
in between. So he did surgery and tried to close that up,
Uh-huh.
and a couple other places that were
Did
receding.
he say that would be painful for her? I mean, were there nerves exposed or anything at that time?
It was sensitive when you touched that area. It wasn't real painful, but she obviously didn't like having that area touched. So, and we were afraid she'd lose her teeth, her tooth. He really suspected that she would lose her teeth and have to have them pulled because of the gum disease. And that was in '87, and she's still got every tooth.
Okay, there's a testimonial. This is, what month is this? June 90. Okay, so at that time, is that when you started the every night thing, or
That, after the gum surgery, yeah. I realized that she was having to have anesthesia probably an average of every 6 months to have her teeth cared for, and that was going to be much harder on her than just making her get
Right.
used to a
Right.
daily routine.
Plus the antibiotics all the time, you can build up.
Right.
She could build up an immunity.
And the infection, that could be hard on her whole system.
Yeah. So, you told her this news.
Yeah, it didn't go over well.
And so, did you have a couple of failures or trials and errors of how to accomplish this?
Yes. We tried it just holding her down and doing it, and she
You and your
ripped us
husband?
to, yeah,
Okay.
she ripped us to pieces.
That's a lovely family night.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, we really enjoyed it. Then we tried wrapping her in a towel, like you do with a
Right.
cat.
Yeah.
Have their paws in and wrap the towel nice and tight, but just just snug and hold her down. Well, you
thought
couldn't
you-
hold the towel snug enough. But we just persisted every night, and started giving her. I feed her last thing at night so that she eats a meal and then settles down and is fairly quiet for the night. And finally I wouldn't feed her until she let me do her teeth. And
She caught on.
she caught on.
Okay. Well, I think that is a very interesting thing that everyone forgets about, is that animals are much more resilient than you think, and they will, if the human can be consistent, that's all that's involved in almost every kind of training or any kind of new thing that you have to do with your pet for their own good, is consistency is all it takes. And that's where the humans fall short, is being consistent about it. So Kathy was already on this routine of feeding the cat once a day. She's on Purina Cat Chow, right, the dry food. And at night, because Sia, I think I remember, had a habit of getting wild and crazy at night. And it was like all backwards. And so they came up with that routine of feeding her at night with a full belly. She went to sleep. Everybody got a good night's sleep. So just going on that routine that was already established, they started that, brushing her teeth at night and feeding her immediately thereafter. She didn't catch on the very first night, I'm sure, but I bet you it didn't take more than a week.
It really didn't take too long. And once she got used to it, she now comes and asks to have her teeth done so she can get fed.
And could we see some of you have some other tools here besides the toothpaste and toothbrush. Now with the toothpaste, this is different from what I use on Jupiter. Where'd you get that?
This one I got at Neff's.
Okay.
I've used a few other brands. She doesn't seem to have a preference.
Okay.
And just a infant's toothbrush.
Okay, very
Because
soft.
cat's mouth is very small and very soft. And
Now what is
let me
that?
tell the story. Okay. Shortly after Sia had to have her gum surgery, I had to go to the dentist and have my teeth cleaned. And I was speaking with the dental hygienist and asked her a lot about gum disease and gum surgery. And after she talked to me and provided me with all this information, she said, "Why? who do you know that has gum disease?" And I kind of went, "Well, my cat." And it turned out she was a cat lover too.
Oh, great. Yeah, there's a whole lot of them.
And so she gave to me one of her old dental tools that
Good.
she was no longer able to use, and showed me how to use it. The dental surgery did not completely close up that hole between the roots of the molars on Sia, and her food gets caught in there. And the toothbrush doesn't necessarily get it out. It does a good job, but it doesn't clean the hole out because it goes completely through. This does.
Okay. Can we, I don't know if the cameraman, do you have a good view that maybe on Kathy's pants it would show best? I don't know. We can just sit it there. You have a look at that, and maybe you've seen your dentist use such a thing anyway. But it looks dangerous to me with these little pointy ends. So.
It is. It's very sharp. I've poked myself with it a number of times. And whenever I take her to my mom's, I don't take this along when someone else takes care of her. It's sharp. If she struggles at all, she could be seriously hurt. I always picture her getting stabbed in the eye or something with it. So it's not something that someone who's not been trained on it and has very good control of the cat would want to use.
Okay, so your dental hygienist showed you how to use that and exactly what you were to be doing with it, and you use it. But this isn't something that you wouldn't want to just find something similar to this and start picking at your pet's teeth, because you could do a lot more damage than good. I do know another friend whose dental hygienist gave her one also for her dog's teeth, and but also was instructed on how to use it, and you just would not use such a thing unless you did know how to use it, because you could actually puncture the gums and cause bacteria to get in there and cause the thing that you're trying to prevent. So this is just to show you that this is what Kathy uses in her routine of dental hygiene with Sia. And you just might keep it in mind that once you take your pet to the veterinarian to get a checkup to see what state of health their mouth is in, and if you need such a thing, then you talk to your veterinarian about it and talk to your dental hygienist about it and get trained on how to use such a thing. But if there's nothing else that you'd like to say at this point, we could bring Sia in and just demonstrate her getting her teeth brushed, unless there's something else you thought you'd like to mention to people.
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll find Sia here. She's wandering around somewhere, and we'll bring her over and show you how she likes having her teeth brushed. Now, Sia's gotten a little bit antsy waiting. She's wondering what all this is about. How come we keep bringing out this stuff and we never brush her teeth? And now she wants to snag Mom's shirt.
All right.
But she knows now it's time to have her teeth brushed.
Yeah, she sees her food down there. Yeah.
Well, let's just eat the food and forget
Just a
this
minute.
part. Of course, it's a little bit unusual. She's not used to doing this with a light man and a cameraman and an interviewer and out in the living room. She normally has it done in the bedroom, and I think that routine is really important also, to do it exactly as she's used to it. But we're doing a little bit different here, but I think she'll be fine. So, you see that? She brushes pretty vigorously. Just opens up her mouth and brushes the outside surface of both sides. Do you just do the top?
I just do the top outsides.
Okay.
The rest doesn't seem to accumulate the tartar.
Okay.
Apparently there's a saliva gland above each of those, and that's where they tend to accumulate tartar.
Okay, so then you really pull the lip up to get a good look here, and
I don't poke it in. I just kind of slide it across.
drag it across the top of the teeth where it meets the gums.
Yeah. And I tell her
And
what a
just
good
on that
girl
one
she
side.
is.
Okay. And then
And I give her her food.
Yeah. Good girl. She goes, why do I have to eat out here in the living room with this dog today? And that's all there is to it. So that took, what, about 20 seconds? No blood. You can do it with your cat. Get to the vet, see what the state of your pet's dental health is, and then get started on a daily, or at least 3 times a week, ritual of cleaning your pet's teeth. Thanks for tuning in today, and see you next week.